afternoon, traders. Welcome to our end of week technical analysis video. I'm going to jump straight into things here. So as you can see, this blue vertical line representing the last place in which we left off. And I'm going to go ahead and just jump straight into things here. It's a Friday, vibes are good. And yeah, we've got a decent amount of information to mark up. Not anything substantial in terms of moves to the upside or downside, apart from the first one, which I will go over in a second. But yeah, let's have a look. So as you can see, if I go ahead and reset price scale for you real quick, I'm going to go ahead and grab a path just like normal. So this is where we last left off, where we found support at a previous support level of around 2663, that main level that in previously has been a pretty consistent conflicting level within the gold market. So as you can see, we ended up finding a resistance at this level of 2685, just above one of our point of interests. And as you can see, it found a resistance on a previous support. So 2685, that point of interest, the level that we have marked in, is definitely still valid. This is all in the build up to the New York session kicking in, and then as you can see, the New York session kicked in and we had a substantial drop. Price sort of continued to drop down further and further before we found the bottom at around 2606. And again, as you can see, the level which it found support on was one of our point of interests, indicating to us that our point of interests are definitely still valid. So then we saw price come up to around this level of 2640 before breaking down to these minor levels, again testing between the 2626 level and the 2620. And then price pushed all the way up to just below 2660. Sorry, bear with me. Price pushed up just below 260. Then we saw price break down. We had a short consolidation area here before price then continued bearish again, touching 2626. And then since then, price has come up bullish to test this level of 2645, tested this previous low level and low time frame resistance as a support, and then price finally pushing back up out. As you can see, we found the top resistance at around 2664 to 2663, and what it looks to be as a support currently found at 2655. What sort of moves could we see? I understand that we spoke about the probability being a bullish move in our last technical analysis, which as you can see, we did have that bullish continuation, but it was only short term. We hit that 2685 level and price just plummeted all the way down with the help of some volatile and high impacting news events that obviously have clearly taken an effect in the gold market. However, the good sign about all of this for the bulls is that price wasn't broken into, we didn't break into the 2500s again. The lowest level we found was that 2605 level, and since then price has stayed away from that level. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and go to our weekly and just have a look what is going on. If you guys remember, if I go ahead and delete this now, we did speak about a break and retest, a bullish engulfing pattern, and this week being a bearish week, meaning that this is our entry candlestick. Again, for you guys that don't know or haven't been tuned in for our previous technical analysis videos, this is a bullish engulfing formation. You have your one candlestick, you can call this 1 or A, you have your 2 candlestick or B candlestick, and then you have your 3. Your 1 is the first candlestick that sets it up. The 2 is your bullish or bearish engulfing, a candlestick that is greater in size than the previous. And then you have a 3 or C candlestick, which is classed as your entry candlestick. So looking at current price action, as you can see, the bears have pushed price down significantly, again to that 2605 level. And since then, the bulls have slightly been pushing price back up. If we can see a finish in somewhere around this for the end of today, that will close the week at 10 o'clock tonight GMT, before we have a open again on Sunday night at 10 p.m. GMT. We will most likely see that bullish continuation on the higher time frames, with next week being a considerable bullish week, potentially touching new all-time highs. If I go down to the hour 4 for you, as you can see, it's the same sort of thing. We've had a bullish push the last 8 hours, and then the most recent 8 hours, we have been testing on this support of around 2655. As you can see, this level is a support and definitely an area in which the market has tested many times in the past. as to the reason why our point of interest is marked there. So yeah, with the current price action we are seeing, we are definitely in for that bullish move that we spoke about in our start of week. Obviously the longevity of it is just going to be a bit greater. If we go ahead and look at our minute 15, we can really see what's happening. Again, as you can see, price came down. We tested a support consistently on that 2618 level, and then found a higher support at 2627, and the common resistance for that area was around 2640. So if we are to see any more retracements, we're going to look for this level around 2647 to 2645 to 2640. If we break down, the move will probably be even longer expectation compared to what we are expecting now. So in the short run, what could we see for today? Looking at current price action, we are seeing pretty much just consolidation. There is a level that I have just spotted that I want to mark in with a trend line if I can find it. Bear with me 1 second, guys. There we go. We've got our trend line. So we're going to go ahead and mark a trend line in here. A little tip as well, for when you mark in trend lines, you want to start from a point A and point B, excuse me, and then drag it into the future. And the way you learn how to place your trend line is you wouldn't know whether to put it there. What difference does it make, you may ask? The difference it makes, so what you want to do is when you want to find your point A, so we have our point A here, the depths when it touched that 2605 level, and the key is to have as many candlesticks touching the trend line, as many wicks touching the trend line as possible. So as you can see on our point A, we have captured all 4 of these candlesticks, and then point B we have captured. If I go ahead and do another trend line in the same fashion and start it at the same place, obviously as you can see, we can catch all those those wicks on the point B as well, and then we just simply drag it into the future. If I go ahead and do that for you now, we're going to make sure we touch the absolute tip of it, and there, as you can see. So we have 2 trend lines. It might look a little bit messy right now. So this is our point A and point B trend line, so we can see where price has touched, so a point A, point B, and dragging it into the future. If we have a look at it, it's not too valid. It hasn't really given us too much information. Obviously we found a resistance there and then a support before price pushed back up through it, and then we had a slight retracement below it. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, and I'm going to continue to drag this into the future, as it could be a level or a point in the market which we could in turn take a look at some point. So again, making sure I'm looking at my A and B candlesticks, and I just want to drag that all the way into the future. So we could potentially have a look at that level at some point soon. Again, so it may look like, so we had a slight break here of this trend line, but does it invalidate it? No. The reason why is because price has come back up in a short period of time and has come back above it. The only thing that would invalidate it is solid candlesticks below this level and a bearish continuation. Obviously this is a bullish candlestick, a bullish trend line. A bearish trend line obviously would be on the upside, where we could drag maybe, for example, point A, point B. If I go ahead and give you guys a quick example, we're going to make sure we touch all the wicks. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 wicks, and we're going to capture those 2, and we can do it as far as possible. And we're going to go ahead and set our trend line there. So as you can see, it is quite interesting. This cross point that we had was broken through with a extremely bullish candlestick before price then broke this previous high and creating a level of around 2665. So that is definitely a trend line that we could have taken into account. As you can see, again, prices sat around this level almost perfectly, and again, this bearish triangle that we have, the lower levels that were created are supports on this trend line. Again, resistance found there, and then price has broken through. Since price has broken through, that one's invalid. We can continue to look at this one. We almost saw a breakthrough here. However, as you can see, there is no solid candlesticks opening or closing below this level. For example, you see here, but prices come straight back through, so it doesn't invalidate our trend line. Cool, so that's a level that we have now marked in, and we can definitely keep that for the foreseeable future. Again, you can see the same sort of thing on our 1. It's the same thing really. I could drag it a little bit further out and we could get that, but as you can see, we won't grab the wicks of the B point. And then again, as you can see on the higher time frames, we actually didn't get that break. So we'll stick with this as an hour 1 trend line, and as you can see, we will definitely keep this in accord, or keep this into account when we are watching the market next week. Probability for a bearish move if I go ahead and have a look, there is definitely possible retracement opportunities, definitely bearish opportunities coming. As you can see, there's this common resistance at that level of 2663. If you lot remember, maybe 4 or 5 TAs ago, we was testing this level of 2663 heavily across major time frames and many low time frames that indicated to us that this level is definitely a stronghold for gold. If we see a break through this level of 2663, which it looks as this minute 15 is closing in 3 minutes, as you can see, we are now testing in this point of interest. If we see a break above this point of interest and candlesticks open above that level, we will most likely see our next point of interest touched and potentially today see a nice bullish move with the help of New York session kicking in 4 minutes. We could see some bullish volume taking us all the way into the 2700s. The probability for this isn't great. If I go ahead and measure the last move from here to here, so this was the first high that was created and this is the second high. As you can see, we've got 208 bars, 981 pips. And then if I go ahead and do the same thing, so if I do 208, bear with me, 180, something pips. We could, yeah, potentially around that 2675 level as the new high. So bullish move for today. We see that continue. We see this continuation. We see this level of 2660 broken. We will most likely see the 275 level tested before the end of the day, and potentially see a break and retest pattern form. Overall increasing the structural integrity of a bullish move. Bearish move, again, definitely likely in comparison to the bullish move, not as much, but it is definitely possible. If we find a resistance at this level of 2663, we could come down to come and test this new trend line that we have marked in before price then pushes up. The overall markup, the overall probability, especially on that weekly, with this new bullish engulfing formation pattern, giving us some pretty strong bullish information and pretty strong bullish opportunities and probabilities. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and wrap up our end of week technical analysis. I understand we've had another decent week this week. So with Christmas coming up, the next TA will be on the 1st of December. So I will definitely start that off with a Merry Christmas instead of a good morning. But yeah, I hope you lot have enjoyed this technical analysis. Remember, if you have any insights or any queries, questions, anything of the sort, don't hesitate or don't forget to leave a comment below. I will always read those comments as soon as I can, and I will take action on if there is things that need or you guys need from me. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope you lot have enjoyed. Make sure to withdraw some profit for yourselves. Christmas is coming up. Buy your family some presents, buy your friends, whoever it may be. I hope you guys all have a lovely, lovely Christmas and a lovely build up to Christmas. So yeah, that's been me, Gold Signals, end of week technical analysis. Peace.